The biggest problem facing this country is not this crisis. It's the growing inequality. And I think that we have to, and it's another theme in my books. I've written another book about it.
What was the title of that one?
I had a book called New Financial Order in 2003. Right. But I thought in that book that we should manage inequality in a scientific way. We have to have a plan so that inequality doesn't get worse. I don't think we have any reason to want it to get worse. So why don't we spend now time thinking, and no presidential candidate has ever mentioned this. Maybe it's too, we don't want class warfare. We want to start thinking about the forces that we can be offset. And you know, this is fundamental. Why is the health care issue so important right now? I think it's fundamentally because medical technology is improving to the point where it's developing a lot of expensive procedures that can save and prolong people's lives and give them useful more years. And now we're realizing that income inequality is worse than we thought, because people who are poor will die younger. It didn't used to be that way. But once we have expensive procedures that can prolong lives, how can we deny that to lower income people? And so to me, it's even more fundamental than the health care debate now. It's getting the income inequality managed so that it doesn't become a huge problem in the future. And this is and to me, it's a technical problem how to do that. Just as
it's a technical problem?
Yeah, it's a technical problem. I'd like to see, okay, I'm talking about so many books here. I'm sorry that I've read.
We're talking about ideas. With their expression of book, it's okay with me, but I'm interested in the idea.
I have another paper with Len Berman about, what do you call it, maybe I shouldn't bring things up like this, which are so politically dynamite. I mean, let me just lay it out. We think the tax system...
No, don't censor yourself. Don't edit yourself.
Well, I get angry email every time I bring this up.
Go ahead.
But this is really risk management. We don't know how bad the income inequality is going to get. It could get better, it could get worse. So it's a risk. Let's put in a system that manages the risk. So the proposal we have is to index the tax system for inequality. So that what the plan is, in the future, if inequality gets worse, we automatically raise taxes on the wealthy. It's not, you know, Obama or Congress are talking about taxing the rich to pay for the health care. And that sounds so logical. But after the fact, you try to do that, and it creates political problems. We have to plan for the next decade. Let's write it into the law now that that's going to happen. My son is now a PhD student in philosophy.
Yes.
It's my son, my next generation, will carry at a more ethereal level. For me, I think of myself as a humble engineer who has financial engineering.
Yeah.
And I'm aware of a technology of risk management. I'm also aware of a technology of social sciences, psychology, sociology. We mentioned neuroscience. And I'm trying to think like an engineer to put these things together to make something that works. And I think this is not just me. I think this is the new paradigm. We have...
The new paradigm is?
Well, I mean, to quote Thaler and Sunstein, I don't know if you talk to them, they have a book called Nudge. And in that book, they talk about choice architecture. But the idea is to design financial and economic contracts around people, knowing the way they behave, and nudging them in the direction that works, that manages their risks and manages their that becomes part of a functioning economy. And I mentioned that Sunstein is now part of the Obama administration. I take it as very inspiring that I see people like this involved at the highest level of our government. And I think that this is new. This is like the New Deal. We are thinking at a better level, a more enlightened level, about how to change our economic policies. And I think it's a process. We haven't heard the end of this by any means. But I think that the application of financial technology in connection with application of our understanding of the human species and the human mind is a breakthrough frontier we're breaking through right now. And I'm hopeful that we'll have a better country in the U.S. and in other countries around the world.
This book is called Animal Spirits: How Human Psychology Drives the Economy and Why It Matters for Global